Welcome, everyone, to Couch Potatoes and what are we? Sports Tragics.
Sports Tragics.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Armchair critics at their best.
Yes, we are. And been armchair critiquing the Olympics a lot, but we're going to talk NRL now, and it's getting to the make or break end of the season.
Very interesting, actually, isn't it?
It is.
There's a lot of teams that are vying.
Well, they've got the two teams out in front, Storm and Panthers. Obviously, they're going to make the semis, and Roosters are looking pretty good. And Sharks are hanging in there. Your team,
well,
the Sharks,
they've dropped off though.
Yeah, they were hot early on in the season, but they're hanging in there. They're on 28 points.
Nico's got over his State of Origin 1.
Yeah, well, I actually haven't watched a Sharks game for a little while. But look, one of the big surprises this season is the Bulldogs. They're up there in 5th spot now, and they're playing great football.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they haven't been tracking too well for quite a long time. So it's nice to. I just like seeing that. I like seeing some team that's come up from somewhere. It's got more to do than just talent. There's must be something really working there.
I'm really happy for my two kids, Jack and Tarly, back in Coffs Harbour, because they were brainwashed very young to be Bulldog supporters by their mum. And I'm very happy that Bulldogs are winning because they get very down and out when they don't.
Is this why
bit like me when the Raiders
move forward, man? Yeah?
A bit like me when the Canberra Raiders.
I was about to say, is it just anyone that's not the Raiders?
Well, no, I do have a soft spot for the Bulldogs only because of that connection.
You're getting better at slipping the Raiders in or Canberra, it hasn't even been a minute, has it?
Well, yeah, they're in ninth position.
You're a walking ACT advertisement, that's what you are.
I'm after that, the tourist sort of
ACT
sponsorship.
A roundabout we go.
That's it. But look, the Broncos have fallen away big time, especially around Origin time. I think they've lost 4 or 5 on the trot. They're down to 13th now, and they're 4 points outside the 4 outside the 8.
Well, as much as the doggies have come up, as much as they've gone down.
How many rounds we got to go?
6.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6. 6 more rounds to go. So that's a possible 12 points. And the Broncos are 4 points out. They've really, they've got to.
Well, they're talking the Rabbitohs are out now, but they're on 20. So they're like 2 games out. Well, that's 3 on 24, 25. It's the bloody differentials. They're all pretty rubbish down
So they're saying the Rabbitohs are gone at 20. Well, the Broncos are on the same points. They're on 20 as well. Poor old West Tigers, they've been hammered every week. And the Eels, how ordinary are they? The Eels and the West Tigers at the moment are 501 to win the premiership. So put your money on them.
The Eels just, they're always the bridesmaid at best.
Well, it's been 86 was their last win with the great Ray Price as captain. So it's been 38 years since their last premiership. Raiders are not much better. They were 1994. They played a grand final when Jared Hayne was playing for them. In the early 2000s or something.
Yeah.
Or even a few years ago, they might have even got into a grand final.
Or at least a prelim.
It's a bit of a dogfight.
Didn't they play against the Panthers?
I think they might have. Yes, I think
Moses Cleary showdown, wasn't there?
Yeah, and I think Cleary might have won.
Yeah, well, he won the whole frigging competition last year.
Talking of Cleary, I mean, obviously we have mentioned how dominating he was in that last 20 minutes of last year's grand final, but he is back. He's played 2 games now, and he did set up a few tries. He did kick a field goal in the previous game to a 43-metre field goal to win the game. So, look, he's refreshed, and the Panthers and Storm are looking pretty good.
The Storm is always there.
Always consistent, very well coached
always
side.
There.
Coached by ex-Canberra player Craig Bellamy. The Dolphins, mate.
Doing well in spite of himself, mate.
The Dolphins, they're in 8th position on 24 points, just ahead of the Raiders and the Dragons on percentages.
Speaking of master coaches.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. But look,
I'm going to be mad. What is the Dolphins? It's only their second season, isn't it?
Yes, only the second season. And next season, Bennett is going to South.
Or back to South.
Yeah, he's going back to South. But look, talking about South, Raiders played South in a pretty much a do or die game at GIO Stadium on Sunday. The Raiders were winners, but the big talking point that came out of the game was Alex Johnston.
Yeah.
And he went down like he'd been shot by the sniper on the grassy knoll, in Dallas. And his Achilles just went on him. He took a step and it was gone. And his calf muscle just went zoop up his leg.
Done the roll-up.
Did the old roll-up. And the interesting thing about that is that he is on 195 tries.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 17 behind the great Ken Irvine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been the last couple of seasons, he's been creeping closer and closer and closer. And I'm not even sure how old Alex Johnston is. I'm pretty sure
he's on his little wiki site.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got to be close to 30 or something. But,
17 tries, you can do that in a season.
Definitely. Now, definitely a season-ending injury, but is it a career-ending injury at his age?
Well, I don't know. When you think we'll have to see. I think he's got it in him, but I hope so anyway. But then again, how many times do you hear of the greats or people getting so close, injuries taking them that don't quite get there? I guess that's part of making your records as well. Is your longevity and a fair whack full of luck.
Well, he is only I just Googled. He is only 29. He'll be 30 in January.
Spring chicken.
So he's still got a bit of time, but there is a fairly major injury, and like the great Ken Irvine, I think I have mentioned this before, 212 tries in 223 games.
Mm-hmm.
He averaged a try every 0.83.
Just over one, isn't it?
No. He's under. He's 212 out of 223. So he's scored a try every 0.83 of a game. Alex Johnson is every sort of 0.8. He's only just behind him. So he's very much the same strike rate.
Yeah.
Different style of player where Ken Irvine really did create a lot of tries. I tend to see Johnston sort of sitting out in the wing and, they throw him a pass and he scores a lot of fairly easy tries. But look, he's positional play. He hangs out in the wing. Other teams should know that, so they should defend against it, but not taking anything away from him. But Ken Irvine, who had a long career playing for North Sydney, first of all, where he really had to battle to score tries because they weren't a great side, and then he went in the latter part of his career. He went and played for Manly Warringah. So
love him or hate him.
Yeah, love him or hate him. Yeah, well, as I said, they were the first team I did support when I was a young fella. But talking about try scorers, I was at Canberra Stadium. It wasn't called Canberra Stadium then. It was called Bruce Stadium. And I was there the day 1990 when Mal Meninga scored 5 tries. He scored 5 tries and kicked, 9 goals and scored 38 points against the Sydney Roosters. They won 66-4.
Oof.
And,
they were glory days for the Raiders.
They were.
These big names.
1990.
Daily.
From 89 through to 94, we won 3 premierships and lost one other grand final. So we made it 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I remember those ones.
Great side. But he scored 38 points, and that was the second highest individual point score in NRL history. I think the record is held by a guy called Dave Brown, who played back in the 30s. He's called the Bradman of League. Dave Brown, he scored, I think, 43 points in a game. I think he used to play for Eastern Suburbs. That's right. Dave Brown played for Eastern Suburbs. And he was a point-scoring machine. He scored 22 tries in 1935 in 5 games, 5 consecutive games, 22 tries.
Were they just dominant, though?
They were very dominant.
That team?
I think they were undefeated
like
in
the South
1 year.
In the 60s sort of thing?
Now, this is
St. George, I mean?
Yeah. Eastern Suburbs in the 30s, they had a very dominant period because they had a guy called Dave Brown playing for them.
Yeah.
He scored 38 tries in that season, and I think it was only 15 matches. 38 tries in 15 matches, and that 38 tries is still the NRL record for a season. Alex Johnston, and someone else are the only other 2 guys to pass 30.
Even 30 is incredible. Yeah. And I tell you, there's a lot more games.
That's what I'm saying.
Season, of course.
This is 15 matches. We've got a 26-game season.
Yeah.
So in that 1935 season, he scored 38 tries and scored 244 points at just over 16 points a game.
Oh, must have been a bloody powerhouse.
Yeah, he played for Australia. Yeah. Funny story about him.
I hope so.
He went bald fairly young. I'm talking his early 20s. He did a flying doormat, and actually he used to wear a rug off the field, And they famously went on a kangaroo tour, and they were on the boat. On the kangaroo tour, as they used to do, 6 weeks going across.
Yeah.
And one of the other players, I don't know who it was, but grabbed his rug and threw it overboard.
Ooh.
So he didn't have his rug. So from then on, he didn't worry about it. And all he did was he wore a headgear. So he's very famous. You see a lot of photos from the 30s, Dave Brown with the headgear on. You know it's Dave Brown, but that was sort of, covering his head. But after that, he didn't wear a rug at all. But look, he was captain of New South Wales at 18 and made his kangaroo debut in when he was only 20. Kangaroo debut when he was only 20. But also talking about try scorers, I think I was at Seaford Oval in Queanbeyan, not Canberra, when Monero, which was the rep side, played Great Britain back in the 70s. It was probably about 74. I was only about 15 or 16. And Larry Corowa. Can you remember that name, Larry Corowa?
No.
Aboriginal guy, Indigenous guy.
A bit younger than you, mate.
Yep. He scored 5 tries against the Great Britain side. And he was quick. He just got in the clear and no one could catch him. And he ended up coming to Balmain and becoming a bit of a cult figure at Balmain.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Larry Corowa, one of the great Indigenous players. But yeah. So just digressing there a little bit on try scorers. That's all.
I don't know why he's coming ahead. For some reason, Matty Rogers sticking in there. He did all right, didn't he? He's scoring a few. His father, Steve. Maybe it was just the mental health thing.
Well, he was a legend, Steve Rogers, but one of the great centres.
Yeah, well, I think Matty outscored him. Maybe he's the highest scorer for the Sharks. Maybe it's something like that.
Possibly could be. Something that we could... And, of course, he was a dual international. He went over to rugby.
Played 2 seasons? 3.
Played quite a few seasons. Played in the World Cup final.
Yeah.
And he went well. He was a good player. Good player.
Yeah, out in the wing, wasn't he?
Yeah, we ended up on the wing in rugby, and then we had Wendell Saylor and players like that as well. They all converted. Lottie Takiri, they all converted over, and of course there was a chance to play in a home World Cup, and it was the Rugby World Cup after the
England
Soccer World Cup.
Didn't it?
Yes, they did. They did beat us. But
Johnny Eales was captain.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have been. Johnny Wilkinson kicked a field goal with about a couple of minutes to go to win the game. But the Rugby World Cup is the second biggest World Cup or sporting event, or the third biggest. The Olympics is the biggest, and then the Soccer World Cup or Football World Cup is the next biggest. But the Rugby World Cup is there. There's 135 countries play to get into that.
Wow, really?
135 rugby nations to get into that final, whatever it is.
I don't even know how many they put in. Is it 32?
I think it might be down to 16 or something like that, and they play in groups. Probably 4 groups of 4.
Yeah, I can remember seeing these groups. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. But we digressed a little bit there from the rugby league, but it is getting down to the nitty-gritty part of it. I sort of did have to mention that Alex Johnston.
We mentioned the Roosters, haven't we?
Roosters are all right. They had a little bit of a slump earlier in the mid-season. They had a bit of a slump, but they seem to they did lose a couple of weeks ago.
Well, they're sitting third now, though.
They are sitting third. They're sneaking up on everyone. Sort of, they're flying below the radar a little bit. And
Storm, of course, gets a thing, and the Panthers are always front and centre. And Souths get a lot of coverage.
They get a massive amount of coverage. Latrell Mitchell's probably got a lot to do with that one, but that's for another podcast too, probably as well. But he, what was I going to say?
I'm trying to help you there. About scoring.
Yeah, well, so, I mean, the Panthers and the Storm, as we said, are out in front on top. And, of course, the Panthers looking at a 4-peat. So 4 in a row. Hasn't been done since the Great St. George side back in the 60s.
Yep.
And
they won 7, didn't they? 8.
They won 11.
11. Jeez, not even close.
11, 56 to 66 they won. So,
wow.
And then the next best since then was the Parramatta side. Well, South Sydney won in 67-68, got beaten in the grand final by Balmain in one of the great upsets in 69, and they won 70-71. So they won 4 in 5 years. And then you've got to go to the great Parramatta side, who won 3 in a row, 81, 82, 83.
Sterlo, Pricey, Cronin.
Eric Groth.
Growth, that's right. Oof.
What a weapon he was.
Oof.
Very
Him out
Growth.
on the wing.
On the wing, yeah, unbelievable. A great side. But, so we'll do another podcast in regards to the NRL probably in a few more weeks' time, just as it enters into the semi-final when it's going to really heat up, and we'll probably know who the top 8 is by then.
Yep.
And we might do our semi-final predictions
I
and
think so.
grand final predictions.
Gotta love it. It's warming up, mate. Get into September.
But it was bloody cold today, I know that. So
what we should do, we should organise a weekend where we go and see the footy codes.
Good idea.
Because I think the Swans will probably get a home final. So
Really?
we'll be able to see a couple of NRLers down there and at least the Swans game.
Yeah.
Might be worth a
Well,
early track in September.
there might even be a game, because all the semi-finals in the NRL, they play home games. The side higher on the ladder plays at home.
Yeah,
So,
same.
but there might be a game we could just go up the road to see the Dolphins playing a game or something like that.
True.
Yeah, or in Brisbane might be closer than us going to
Well, Brisbane's
Sydney.
not going well. Dolphins are sitting at bottom of the 8.
Yeah,
So I don't think they're going to be getting a home
yeah,
game.
true. They probably won't get a home game.
Well,
Yeah, and the Raiders are not going to get a home game.
Well,
So
if
we're
they
not
go
going to
Sydney,
Canberra.
we'll just rack up your credit card, mate. It's fine.
That's all right. We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the ACT tourism sponsorship deal.
That's right.
Okay, we'll wind this one up. George's getting a bit tired. He's watched the Matildas last night or this morning, and
I'm going to try and do it again.
He's feeling the pinch. He's not,
I had to get up and work, mate.
Yeah, that's right. You did. Well, I did too.
This bloody work thing gets in the way of
Our
watching
podcasts.
sport. Playing
Gets away with our
sport,
podcast and watching sport.
Yeah.
We should be a full-time
Bloody
job.
rude. Then it's bloody in France and you've got to try and stay up.
Yeah. So, look, if there's anyone out there who wants to sponsor us, our lifestyle
Yeah.
of watching sport and doing podcasts, by all means, get in contact with us, and we'll, hopefully...
We'll give you a plug. Tony's going cheap.
Yeah, real cheap. Always did.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
All right, we'll wind this one up. Thanks for listening. If you have been listening, if you haven't been listening, well, you won't know. But tell your friends. That's the main thing. Tell your friends, and we'll catch you all next time.
And any feedback is fun in the chatty and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, but a lot of my workmates who do listen to the podcast.
Tony, he needs to know he's loved, don't you, mate?
Exactly, I
It's
do.
just a cry for help here, really.
Absolutely. This is a cry for help.
It's too late. Well, for me anyway.
Yeah. We'll catch you all later.
All right,
Thanks.
see ya.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.